Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, boy, things sure are a-changing out there. You know, obviously we've talked about how 2024 is a year where a lot of the kind of nonsense, a lot of the identity politics, some would say the woke is gone to die, right, with the hundreds of millions of dollars, the billions of dollars that these major corporations, these major studios out there have pushed to kind of push this nonsense agenda that the entire world has obviously rejected, and especially the United States of America by electing Donald J. Trump. And boys and girls, it's one of them situations where I knew changes would be coming. We heard about changes over there at Disney Marvel for a very long time, about how Kevin Feige fired all of the activists. We heard about all the stuff going on with Daredevil Born Again, about how they fired all the people that were trying to make it a bunch of garbage nonsense, and given us back something that actually looks like it might be really good, and with the edict to make it like Netflix. Well, ladies and gentlemen, of all the places in the world that you wouldn't think it would take the absolute longest to see a change, you'd think it would be over on the Disney-owned ABC The View. Yes, boys and girls, the literal spirit of the age, Viper's Den out there, the table with a bunch of ladies out there that are completely and totally possessed by the spirit of the age, spouting all of the crazy talking points, completely and totally broken by TDS. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, take a victory lap, because the Walt Disney Company is fact-checking The View live on air, and the best part is they're making the moron that put out the false BS statement give the correction as well, probably to make sure they don't get sued. But at the exact same time, we have heard that things are changing behind the scenes over at ABC, and it looks like now we've got some beautiful evidence for it, boys and girls. Because over here on X, aka Twitter, our dear sweet valiant renegade has produced this beautiful clip right here from The View. As you can see, ABC's own. And he says, if you look closely, you can actually see the moment a human body gets punched a new asshole. And boys and girls, this is glorious. And not only is it this insane, stupid, talking female head possessed by the spirit of the ages, acolyte of the cult, but Whoopi Goldberg herself is in this clip, and you can see the look on her face that she is just as pissed as, I believe what this chick's name is, Sunny, just as, that's what we're going to call her for the rest of the episode anyway. We're going to call her for the rest of the video. We're going to call her Sunny, because I don't know her name and I don't care enough to look it up to it, because these people are insane. These are the acolytes of the cult, and we have shown the entire culture. We're doing the hundreds of billions of dollars that Hollywood has lost, that the gaming industry has lost, and now with the election certifying that the United States of America's voting population rejects the woke acolytes of the cult and want no part of the spirit of the age, that we choose light, we choose good, we choose God, and we reject the evil of your ideology, we reject the Satan-inspired BS talking points that you have all continued to try to spout, and nothing more than a goal to destroy everything that is beautiful, wonderful, and civil about our culture. And guess what? The United States of America and every other person out there with a single dollar in their pocket to spend on entertainment has rejected it. And now even Disney's very own ABC is changing their ways live before a studio audience, boys and girls. And this is the most beautiful thing I have seen in a very long time. So we're going to check out this video clip over here. Shout out to Valiant Renegade. If you haven't already, go follow him. Go subscribe to him on all of his platforms out there. Shout out to Valiant Renegade for putting this clip on my timeline this morning, because boys and girls, this is candy, Piter. This is absolutely candy. So we're going to check out this little video, get into all the juicy details, break it all down, and show you how while you can watch this woman's soul leave her body, if she still has one at this point. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Do you think this actually means things are going to change over there at ABC? Do you think you might actually see a fair and balanced news source? Does this overall reflect some of the changes we have seen in Disney overall? Do you think this bodes well for the future, or do you think they're just trying to keep their butts out of legal hot water for defamation cases? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to support this channel, please check out the links in the description as well. This is my full-time job, and you guys do keep the grease flowing between our gears to keep this machine running. All right. Thank you, Valiant Renegade, once again, dear sir. You are doing the Lord's work out there, and thank you for that. So here's the clip, boys and girls. So if you hadn't heard recently, Matt Gaetz is getting announced as some big head over there at the Department of Justice. He's going to go in there and clean house, and he's got an axe to grind, and he's really, really mad at a lot of people. Well, a few months ago, there were some allegations put up against their Matt Gaetz because, of course, Matt Gaetz is pushing back against a lot of the crazy BS that's going on out there in the world. He's trying to uncover the deep state. He's trying to get rid of the administrative state. He's trying to actually do something about these things. Well, what's funny about that is just like we also just recently had another accusation come out against him right as he got appointed by future President-elect Donald J. Trump for his new position. It's always weird how that works out. And I am of the firm opinion when allegations like this come out years and sometimes decades later, I'm sorry, I'm going to take it with a big fat grain of salt, especially when it's against a political opponent that does not align with the spirit of the age, and all of a sudden everybody and their mother comes out of the woodwork right as he's about to get an official position where he'll actually have some power to do some good inside of the federal government. It's weird how that stuff always comes out right at those moments. It's almost like there's an actual agenda to it and not actual legitimate truth out there. Well, of course, Sonny here is spouting those kind of insane nonsense rumors and allegations once again. And this is the beautiful part of it, because guess what? They're not letting it slide over there at Disney anymore, boys and girls. So let's watch her suffer.
How could you nominate someone with allegations of
allegations, not anything proven in a court of law, allegations. Oh, and it gets better because those allegations have already been investigated.
Child trafficking across state lines and having sex with a 17-year-old. My understanding further.
Her understanding from an interview. You know, it's really funny because when a lady came out and accused Joe Biden of doing very heinous acts to her back when she was a young staffer, the only place she could get on the news to have an actual interview was in Australia. ABC didn't want to touch her. CNN didn't want to touch her. MSNBC didn't want to touch her. Fox News barely touched her. But apparently Joe Biden touched her quite a lot. But nobody wanted to cover that. Why? Because it didn't fit your agenda. It didn't go with your narrative. It didn't help your cause. But of course, dragging up allegedly false allegations against someone else, that fits your agenda. But guess what? Even over there at Disney ABC, the agenda don't fly no more.
Later on in the interview, they discuss the fact that once he finds out that she's 17, he stops having sex with her.
Now, that's the clip. That's her statement, boys and girls. That's what she said. And now, this is the best part. Whoopi Goldberg, which I guess maybe is kind of like the head of the table. Maybe she's the kind of one that kind of directs things. I don't know. I don't watch The View, and most of you probably don't either. But it's Whoopi Goldberg who gives her a little information here about what she just said. Because check this out.
You have a legal note. I do have.
You have a legal note. Legal is fact. Disney's legal is fact checking what The View says in real time. This is 3 minutes later, boys and girls, that legal comes down the pipeline and has a statement ready for her. They got it done that fast, boys and girls. Now, whether or not they knew she was going to make the statement, I'd say considering the look on her face, it was pretty obvious that she did not know she was going to get this kind of pushback and get fact checked by her own company live on air. This is glorious. So like Whoopi said, you've got a legal note. Oh, a legal note. What could that be? I wonder.
A legal note. Thank you, Whoopi.
I mean, look, literally, I do have a legal note. Thank you, Whoopi. I mean, look at the look on her face. This chick is pissed that she has to put this out there, but she knows if she doesn't, she will lose her job. Look how happy and joyous she was to spout all those lies, to spout all those false allegations, to spout all that nonsense. And guess what? Now she has to correct the record to make sure Disney doesn't get sued by Matt Gaetz. Look how long it takes her. Look at that jaw clench. She is pissed. Look at that jaw clench. She is literally puckering at the lips. You can literally watch her soul, her hope, everything she had good about her inside of her literally drain out of her face. She is livid that she has to read this. This is candy, Piter. This is absolute candy. This is glorious. Take your victory lap, boys and girls. You've earned it.
Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented, and saying in a statement to ABC News that this false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation.
A 3-year criminal investigation. They investigated Gaetz for 3 years over this. And I mean, look at that face. She is livid that she finally, God forbid, actually has to speak the truth and not just her ridiculous talking points that were fed to her by the spirit of the age. Yes, that demonic spirit out there. Yes, and a watcher. It's just glorious. It's glorious.
Should be viewed with great skepticism. That DOJ investigation was closed with no charges being brought.
That's right. The DOJ investigated Gaetz for 3 years, and they found he did nothing wrong. They closed the case. There wasn't enough evidence there to pursue it any farther. And if you don't think Sunny knew this before she spouted all of this bullshit, I've got some oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she lives in such a bubble. Maybe she's so much in her little cult world, so much that she had no idea that the DOJ had actually closed this case and said that, guess what? He did nothing wrong. And now Disney is fact-checking her live on the air and making her put out statements contradicting the lies she just tried to spout off. And guess what? Even over at ABC, even on The View, you are not getting away with it anymore. Boys and girls, back on my old channel before we got nuked the first time when we had over 4,000 subscribers, which, by the way, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe that button over there. We literally talked about this over and over again. Disney would either go bankrupt or change their ways. And now that they have lost hundreds of billions of dollars, and now that they have shown it to their faces that the United States of America rejects their woke agenda with the election of Donald J. Trump, now they are officially changing their ways. Fact-checking The View live on air, boys and girls. And if you did think that that did not come from the Disney C-suite, well, where the hell else could someone have had this kind of power to change things this fast? I knew things were going to get better. I knew things were going to change in entertainment, but I had no idea we would see it in real time like this. Let's just look at that one more time before we get to the little end of the clip, because Whoopi is pissed as well.
That DOJ investigation was closed with no charges being brought.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. I mean, look at the look on Whoopi's face. She's pissed that she has to do this now, too. They are livid. They are livid. But guess what? All of your activism doesn't mean nothing when someone's threatening to fire you from your job and take away all your money. Boy, it's weird how quickly you capitulate when someone threatens your money, when somebody threatens to take your job over the dumbass shit you spout, over the obvious lies that have been investigated by the DOJ, proven to be false, proven to be there's nothing absolutely to it. And you continue to spout these lies and you spout this nonsense. And now, your overlords, your bosses, your gatekeepers, your masters over there at Disney are now telling, oh, no. You have to speak the truth. We will not get sued over you continuing to try to push your propaganda and continuing to try to push your agenda. This is glorious. And like I said, you can see the look on Whoopi's face. She is pissed about this. We'll be right back, boys and girls. I mean, that is glorious. That is glorious. I mean, let's pull it up again. I mean, you can literally look at this. Look at this. You can see the look on her face. You can see her clenching her jaw right before she has to speak this stuff into existence. And you can see Whoopi there. And I mean, just look at that. She's like, ah. She's like, thanks, Whoopi. I have to pause for a minute and make sure I don't scream and rant and get all pissed off about me having to do this, because otherwise I'm going to go off on my Disney bosses and get me fired. Disney fact-checking The View live on air. Boys and girls, I don't know what more we need. I'd love to see a return to proper Disney and proper Marvel again, and maybe we're actually going to get that. We heard about what happened with Pixar's Inside Out 2, right? We heard about all of the fired employees from Disney that ran off over to IGN to spout all their nonsense saying, Disney made us remove all the gay from our children's movie. They won't let us indoctrinate and try to brainwash kids anymore, and it's just not fair. And they whined and they cried, and guess what? After removing all of the gay stuff from Pixar's Inside Out 2, it ended up making over $1 billion at the box office, ladies and gentlemen. We heard about what Kevin Feige did in the past with Marvel. We've heard about the edicts from the Daredevil Born Again series. And now, just to be the cherry on top, just to be that perfect little, it's candy, Piter, absolute candy, you get to watch Disney force The View to get fact-checked live on air and then issue another statement on top of it, correcting the record on what she said and giving more context to the entire evidence, not just the BS allegations she is trying to pass off as truth to push her spirit of the age nonsense. This is glorious. I don't know what else to say at this point, but boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, to every single one of you out there who's ever pushed back against any of this agenda stuff, every one of you that has decided to turn off the entertainment industry and not pay money for more propaganda, and for every single one of you that went out there and voted for Donald J. Trump to be the president of the United States, take your victory lap. You have earned it. You did this, and none of this would have happened without every single one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is glorious. Now, even Disney realizes they cannot continue on with this kind of agenda-driven nonsense. I don't know what other beautiful, bright spots we're going to find in the future. I don't know what more blessings God is going to shower us down with from heaven. But I am here for it, boys and girls. We are going to document the disastrous dumpster fire of all things Hollywood and them changing their tune. Because now, Disney, the corporation who everyone said would never, ever change. They wouldn't have to. The parks would keep them afloat. Now, they are literally fact-checking one of their most spirit of the age filled talking point advocates for the cult show, The View. Disney is fact-checking The View live on air and making their own personalities actually correct the record and spout the truth. If that's not a sign of more good things to come, and the fact that we are winning and that God is by our side as long as we stay by his in this whole situation, I don't know what is. And boys and girls, Whoopi Goldberg and Sonny and everybody else over at The View, you did this to yourselves. And now you're getting exactly what you deserve. Candy, Piter!